Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's Lean Publishing Tip of the Day live stream. I'm going to be talking about buying books with your unpaid royalties, a topic I really like talking about. Let me just click go live on Instagram here. We're experimenting with this. We're going to be doing some live launch videos with authors and stuff like that going forward. So I'm just got to figure it out. It's a little bit complicated here. I'm not that complicated, but a little bit more than normal. So yeah, so for anyone who's watching this Lean Publishing Tip of the Day, you're probably watching it on our YouTube channel or on social media or somewhere else like that. We don't do these at a regular time yet, of day yet, and stuff like that, but we will be working on that probably noon Pacific time is when we'll be doing them. But I love recording them just because I like doing them in itself, and because these videos then exist for posterity and can be basically instructional how-to videos for cool things on Leanpub. I'm just trying to position myself on Instagram here. Um, uh, yeah, so what I want to talk about today is the fact that we recently introduced the ability to use your unpaid royalties from your book sales to buy other books on Leanpub, books by other authors. It's a really amazing feature. We've been asked for it before. So basically, for a long time on Leanpub, you've been able to use royalties that you've earned from sales of your books and of course courses and ebook bundles and course tracks and stuff like that. If you're a self-published author on Leanpub and you've earned money, we keep it for a while. That's because we have a 60-day royalty hold period, just like kind of KDP does, where we have a 60-day refund window. So anybody who buys something from us can get a refund with a couple clicks within 60 days. We think this actually increases sales for authors over time because it means that people can trust Leanpub, and if they make a mistake, they don't have to worry about it or anything like that. So we think that's actually a really powerful driver of sales. Our refund rates are quite low as well. And when people get a refund on Leanpub, they actually can leave a comment. So refunds can actually help you improve your messaging around your book or course and things like that. But anyway, so you get these royalties. They show up in the royalties section of your account. You'll see that you've earned some royalties. There's a sales section for each book and course and stuff like that. And after 60 days, then those royalties become available to be paid to you. And they are then paid to you at the next payment date, which is typically the 7th day of the month. We've got a whole help center article that explains everything about that in detail. But between that time, when the 60-day threshold has expired, and your royalties are available to be paid to you, and then you get paid those royalties, they're available to you in Leanpub to buy all kinds of things. This has been true for a while. You could buy Leanpub services, basically. So you could buy an advertising, like sponsored spot for your book in our weekly or daily newsletters, in our weekly or monthly newsletters. You could also use them to buy things like translations of your book using our Translate AI service, which is really amazing. I mean, one of the reasons I love this feature the most is that, like, imagine you've written and self-published a book completely for free on Leanpub using our browser writing mode, and you've written one chapter and you've published it. And because in Leanpub our motto is publish early, publish often, we encourage people to publish their books serially, kind of essentially as they write them chapter by chapter. So you start selling your book after you finished one chapter, publish what we call the first version. Then when you add a new chapter, you publish a new version. So now your book has 2 chapters in it. Anybody who bought it before has access to the updated book, and anybody who buys it in the future will get the full contents. And then you just keep adding chapters as you go, typically raising the price of your book as you go as well, because you're adding more content, and then rewarding people with lower price for having sort of bought your book when it was early days still. So but with this ability to use unpaid royalties, basically what you could do is you could start earning royalties, and then you could use them to say for various services like these sponsored advertisements that you can do in our newsletters, or getting your book featured in the shelf feature on our homepage, things like that. So in that way, if your book is generating some money that you've completely earned from nowhere, like you've used Leanpub for free, you're now earning some money, you can use that to buy sponsored spots, essentially advertisements, and hopefully that'll drive more sales of your book, and you'll make some more money. And then when your book is done, hopefully you've made enough money and you've made enough royalties that then you can use your unpaid royalties to get a translation. And now you've got, say, a French version of your book or a German version of your book, if it wasn't French or German to begin with. And then you can make money from that translation. And then if that translation makes enough money, you can get another translation, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then you can maybe, if it's a nonfiction book of a certain kind, you can then use unpaid royalties to turn your book into a course. So basically you have a self-funded, self-publishing project. Potentially, if you're making money off of it, you can use the money that you've made to make more money off of it. Now, we've long had people ask us, well, if I can do that, can I, use my unpaid royalties to buy books? And there were sort of all kinds of reasons why the answer was no, but the answer is no longer no, which is pretty cool. Now you can use unpaid royalties to buy books on Leanpub. The sort of simplest short version of this is if you have enough usable unpaid royalties, if you put something in your cart like a book, and you have enough usable unpaid royalties to cover the cost of the purchase, then you'll see this little green checkout with royalties option there automatically. You don't have to go hunting for it. You don't have to turn it on. It'll just be there as an option for you to be able to buy books. Let me just share a different tab and show you how this works. I'm just going to go to books from the homepage, go to the bookstore, go to new releases, find a book like that one I was looking at before, where it's like I can tell this is probably a fiction book and it probably has a relatively low price, $2.99. Yeah, if I add that book to my cart, oh, I should have. Here's what happens when you do things live. I should have seen an ability. Oh wait, no, sorry, I needed to reduce the price. Sorry, when I reduce the price to being lower, and then I get rid of the more expensive one. Now you can see that the checkout with royalties option. Oh, can you see that? Let me see here. Yes, you can see at the bottom right there that checkout with royalties is available. The reason that was a little complicated is because let me go to my author section here. Let me go to the royalties section. This is just a sort of demo account, but I don't have very many royalties available. It's just $8. But that's the cool thing. Like if you've even made $8 and it's usable, like it's past the royalty window, you can use it to buy fiction books like the one I was just looking at. So that's really amazing. Again, you can just go to the homepage, go to the store, find a book you think is cool, add it to your cart, and if the price that you've selected to pay is lower than the amount of royalties owed to you, then you can just click that button and you can check out with royalties to pay it. One inevitable complication, there's always something complicated, is that we need to apply sales tax to some purchases depending on your location. And so when you buy normally with like a credit card on Stripe or something like that, they know it knows where like there's basically various rules applied based on location and things like that, and a sort of like home bank address and stuff like that. But anyway, when you buy something with a credit card online, it kind of automatically knows what your sales tax should be. When you buy with royalties, we don't know automatically, so you have to enter your address here, and then click buy with royalties, and you're done. Another thing you can do is you can go to your account profile page, and you can add the address at the bottom there. And then you can just click save settings, and then you don't need to enter your address every time. We explain what we use mailing addresses for. It's just to apply VAT here, or GST, or whatever this applicable sales tax is. And it's to if now this is kind of advanced Leanpub. If you're a Leanpub author and you've finished a book on Leanpub and published it, and you've purchased our Publish on Amazon service, one feature of that service is we get your book up on Amazon and we send you some like hardcover or paperback copies. We need an address to do that. So when we built this feature for how to apply sales tax to sort of check out with royalties purchases, we just also use that for that purpose. But those are the only things we use mailing addresses for currently. So don't worry about us abusing that or anything like that. That's not what this is about. This is just because we're being good and trying to apply sales taxes where we should. So let me just go back to the main tab. So that the basic thing is the very cool thing, which is that you can check out with royalties. If you've got enough royalties, this button will just automatically appear when you put something in your cart. You'll see it. One more thing, I actually showed it already. You do have a royalties section in the author section of your page of your account. So if you've published a book, you'll have an author section. You go to the author section, there's a little menu, and then the bottom one is royalties. If you go to royalties, you can see how many royalties you have available and stuff like that. We'll improve this feature as well. It's kind of small, but you can see that actually if you see this in your account, the green button to check out with royalties, it'll actually tell you how many royalties you have available for purchases. So if you've made $1,000, you can buy a ton of Leanpub books. The thing I love about it too is like if you self-publish a book and maybe you make, couple $100 off of it, you can use that money from your book that you're getting. Maybe you're selling a copy. If you're selling a copy a month, maybe you can use that those royalties to buy a copy of another book every month. So your book is kind of paying for your Leanpub library. I can't talk enough about this feature. I really like it. The idea of the fundamental, like the self-funding book, but the book that kind of can pay for the other books that you buy in that same bookstore is, to me, a very compelling and interesting idea. So we're going to do a relatively short one today. Thanks very much, everyone, for watching this live stream. If you watched it live, if you came in late, this live stream was about using your like unpaid royalties if you're self-published on Leanpub, author on Leanpub, to buy books on our bookstore. You'll find this, if you want to see the whole video, you'll find it on the accompanying blog post that I was just showing on leanpub.com/blog. And you'll also find it on the our YouTube channel. But please like and subscribe and all that kind of stuff. If you like getting these Lean Publishing Tip of the Day videos kind of, available to you, and you want to be able to find past ones and search for past ones and stuff like that on a topic that you're interested in. So thanks very much, everyone, for watching today.